All right, today we're going to be assembling a 3x5 garden shed by Mistmo. First off, I got to let you know Mistmo did send this out to me to install, to put up, to evaluate and review, and that's what I'm going to do. Today we're going to do that install. First off, I did already pre-assemble a 3x5 platform, got it leveled up. Basically, I used some scrap material we had here on the property, a couple of 2x4s, and then some decking material that we had. I got it all leveled up with some cinder blocks. You can pour a pad, you can build a base, you can put it on a deck. You're going to want to put it on a platform. That's the first thing about this shed. It's not meant to go on the ground, so you're going to have to put some sort of structure underneath it, whether it's a pad, like I said, or building something out of wood. So that's already done. Maybe not the right material, maybe not exactly right, but it's what I had. It was spare material that we had left over. Anyway, other thing we've done already is open the box and take out all the parts, verify that all the hardware is there, all the pieces are there, and that they look in decent condition. Mistmo is very good about sending out replacement parts if you contact them, if you have something damaged or missing. So here we go. My wife's going to help me today. I appreciate all the help she's giving me. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, just one quick tip here before we get started. All these little plastic washers, you're gonna have to put them on all those little screws in that big bag. Take them all apart to begin with. Find a little cup or container to put them in, pop them apart. You just pull them apart and yeah, separate them all before you start. That's just gonna save you some time and frustration along the way. Get started with all your parts ready and away we go. All right, how I'm going to do this video is if you take a look at the instruction book, there isn't a whole lot of instruction. It's a lot of like IKEA instructions with just the parts and the pictures. What I'll do is take a look. I will verbalize each step, and I'll tell you what you're supposed to do. Then I'm going to go ahead and do it. If there's any important things I come across, I'll stop and let you know that. So let's get started with step one. Basically, you're going to take the two long bottom frame. We're going to be working on the base frame. You're going to put one screw in each corner, and then you're going to kind of square it up. You can use a square, and then you can also measure the diagonals, the corner to corner, corner to corner, and they should be the same length. You should be able to put your square in the corner, and it should touch both sides of the square. And then once it's all in position, you'll put the other 4 screws in the corners. That'll kind of lock it in. It's got to be square, so when you put all the panels in and you start to align everything, all the pre-drill screw holes will line up. So I'm going to get going, and I'll check in with you on step 2. All right, just one thing right away. I noticed when I got over here, you're going to want this end piece, the short piece, to go over the long piece on the front and the back. So it does kind of show it in the instructions. It's kind of hard to see. Don't put it together wrong and have to take it apart and then put it together again. All right, on to step 2. We're going to start putting the sides on. We're going to use 4 of these panels. We got a kind of a bend in them. That's the corner. So these are going to set in the corner like this. They're going to overlap. You're going to put screws in the bottom around the whole thing on each side. It's going to be really come in handy to have somebody working with you, or if you get really lucky, it's not windy. It will kind of support itself, but be ready to do step 3 right after that. That's going to take these supports. Long one, a couple short ones for the back and the sides. You're going to put them all together and screw them through the holes in the side panels. So I'm going to get going on that. Corey's going to help me by holding the walls, and we'll do step 2 and 3, and we'll be back to let you know how to do step 4. All right, step 4, we're going to take 3 of these back panels. We're going to put them across the back. We're going to put the screws in the center and the bottom. Everything's been lining up decent. One thing to note on that last step, I kind of messed up. I put the screw in on the back side and then tried to attach the inside support rail to the side support rail, and it wouldn't line up, so we just backed that screw out. Shouldn't have put the screw in anyway, because this is got to go underneath that corner panel. So you're going to put this on the back of the shed. You're going to take this and wrap that other corner piece around it and start screwing up from the corner in. So we'll put those screws in, and we'll be back with you on step 5. All right, next step, we're going to take piece S2 and S3. We're going to take S2 is going to go on the right side, actually left side as you're facing the shed over here, and S3 here. But how it's going to go is you got one end has just a little shallow channel cut out here, and the other one has this big old slot. This is going to go to the top, and then you're going to have a part that's going to overlap the piece that's already here. So you're going to be able to line up these holes. This slot goes over the rail, and there's a screw on the back side, so when you have it in the right spot, it'll line up. You can pop that screw in the back, pop the screw there, and do both sides, and we'll be back with you on step 6. All right, step 6, we're going to take these two F3 rails. These are the rails that are going to go on the side of the top here. There's 2 sets of screws, and it's angled. It's not a 90-degree angle. It's got like a pitch. That's what the roof panels are going to sit on. So take and make sure you line up the screws. There's a different amount. They're in different spots. So just hold it up there. Have somebody hold it on the inside. Screw it in from the outside. We're going to put both of them on. We'll be back with step 7. All right, now step 7 real quick. We're going to take this S1. It's the front rail that's going to go across here, be the top to your doors and such. It's pretty obvious the way it goes. It's the finished side. Finished side goes out. This flat side goes up. You can see a slot there where the door latch goes through. You're going to slide these on. And if you're standing up in there, you can kind of see the way it goes. Maybe I'll grab the camera and come around and show you what it looks like. But you're going to pop those in, pop in the screws. 1, 2, 3 are in there, and we're going to get them done. I'll get a close-up of how this sits in here, and then we'll go on to step 8. All right, so I got that other side on there. You can see this weird cutout here. That's going to slide down over this, and if you get it down, slide it in. There's a channel that lines up in the back here, but if you get it in the right spot, are the holes lined up? Yep. Holes line up. The hole in the back here lines up. You can come around and show it and from the back here. So it slides into this little tab, and there's a hole right here. So we're going to put this screw, this screw, this screw, and we'll be back with the next step. All right, step 8, we're going to be assembling the roof pitches that go in the front and the back here. It's going to be 2 of these pieces. It's going to be 2 vents, 2 braces, the H2 and the H3, the H2 screws and the H3 nuts. Basically, we're going to put them together. We're going to put those vents, slide them in the holes, put the screws in, and then we're going to use those brackets and pinch everything together in the middle, put the screws through. It's pretty self-explanatory in the directions. So I'll get it together and then get a little video of it all assembled. All right, a quick note for step 8 before you get going. Only put the bottom bolt in here. You're going to put the 2 bolts for each of the vents, and then only the bottom one. Leave the top 2 open. Ask me how I know. You're going to have to take these back out to assemble step 9. All right, step 9, we're going to take this, and we're going to take these 2 just piece L. It's going to be a top support brace that goes across there in between these 2 panels that we put together in step 8, and that's why we leave these out. They're going to slide in here. We're going to bolt them all together, both sides on the ground, and then we're going to lift it up, put it on top there. All right, when you install this cross brace in step 9, up in here, make sure the little tiny holes on there are facing up. That's where you're going to screw your roof panels into. So just make sure they all line up, get them together, and it's a pain in the butt to put them together. Once you get it together, you don't want to have to take it back apart and do it again. All right, we got that top together. That was fun, wasn't it? Thank God I had my wife around with her little fingers to get in those little cracks and get the nuts tightened up. But what we're going to do now, we're going to set this on top. You can tell there's a rail. It sets in there nice. You're going to screw the front into this cross piece that we put in before, and then the back is going to go through the back panel, through the top piece that we just made, and then into the F4 rail. All the holes line up. You can guide it through, like always, having that extra person on the inside to give it a little help line it up and give it a little back pressure. So get that all screwed together, and then we'll take care of the roof. All right, step 11, we're going to be putting the roof on. We got 4 of these panels, 2 for each side. They're all the same. They're all drilled the same. You got big holes, and then you got little holes right up on the edge. The big holes are going to line up with the screw holes to go through to hold it, and then the little holes that are way out on the edge are for the trim in a later step. So line up these big holes with the holes in the cross member, and then the side rails that we put in earlier. Get all the screws in, and we'll be back with you for step 12. All right, step 12 and 13, we're going to be putting the trim around and the roof cap on. They're 2 separate steps, but they kind of go hand in hand. Basically, these are going to go along the edges here. On the corners, we're going to put these little corner pockets with a hole. It kind of lines up on the 2 pieces where they come together, and then the roof cap plus the top of the trim piece, or all 3 of them, are going to go through and into the roof here. So it's just easy enough to go around and put all the screws in, get everything lined up, and we'll catch you on the next step. All right, shed's all up. Now we got to put the doors so we can shut them up and be done with this. You're going to take the door panels. You're going to have a D1 on either side, and then D2 and D3 on the inside. You're going to use these braces. You're going to lay them out. You're going to put them on. You're going to put 2 screws in the middle there. Just to hold them together, hold them in place, and then we'll talk about the next step and get these doors put together. All right, next thing we're going to do is put the door hardware on, get that on both sides, then we're going to turn it around and install the bracing, the framework on the inside. They go in behind this lip, put the screws in all the spots that the directions say. I'm going to get those pounded out, and we'll be back with you. All right, next 2 steps, we're going to put the hinges on the shed. You're going to attach them to the shed first, basically taking the hinge and line it up with the bolt holes, use the bolt and the nuts provided, and then we will use the other screws to screw it into the doors. So I'm going to get all 4 of those on, get the doors mounted up, and we'll be right back with you. All right, guys, one thing you're going to want to make sure before you do these hinges is that you have them facing the right direction. There is a little bevel on the part that goes to the door. Make sure you got those facing the right way so when you screw the screws into the door, they seat into the hinges. All right, next step is to put the floor braces in. Basically, you put the little bracket, you attach it to the floor rail, and then set the brace on top of it and screw down into the bracket. 2 of them there. Holes are pre-drilled. They're going to line up nice, so everything has been going good. I'm going to knock that out, and then we'll be finished up. All right, got braces in. We're all set. Shed's done. Other than anchoring it down, these little supports go into the corner. You bolt them in. If you put it on a concrete pad, you'd use these anchors. They're just like drywall anchors. You drill a hole, you tap them in, and it has a little threaded stud that you screw down, and it tightens it up. Yeah, I'm gonna get these put on. I'm gonna hold off on that actually for today. Sun's going down. I want to finish up this video for you guys, and yeah, I hope it helped you get your shed together. The Mistmo 3x5. I think it's actually I think it's a 2.5 by 4.5 footprint shed. Make sure you get that base built out before and then get that level. We ended up getting lucky, and it is pretty level. These doors aren't swinging at all. They're not swinging open or closed. So we're pretty level here. Get that base square is a big thing. Have all the parts, make sure they're all there, and maybe prep up those screws and washers to make your life a little easier. Man, if you like the video, be sure to hit that like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, follow along. We'll be doing much more little projects like this. Thanks for watching.